Hello students, AS level chemistry chapter is chemical bonding, lecture number 1. In this lecture we are going to talk about what is a chemical bond and what are the main types of bond that we study in chemistry. Okay, first of all, what you people must remember, what is a bond? Bond, it is a name that has been given to force. So bond, in simple words, you can remember bond is a force. And what is a chemical bond? Chemical bond is a force that can hold atoms, ions or molecules together. So any force that can hold atoms, ions or molecules together, it is known as chemical bond. Now the next thing that you must remember, there are three important questions that you can keep in your mind. Why a chemical bond is formed, what happens when a chemical bond is formed, and how a chemical bond is formed by an element. So these are the three typical questions you must remember. Basic question, basic information you must remember. Number one, why a chemical bond is formed. So to answer this question, simply you must remember every element is interested to become stable. So why a chemical bond is formed? Basically, chemical bonds are formed by the elements just to become stable, just to get stability. So that is why a chemical bond becomes necessary. Whenever an element is unstable, it will make chemical bond quickly to become stable. Second thing, what happens whenever a chemical bond is formed? Why after making a chemical bond an element becomes stable? Whenever a chemical bond is formed by an element, the valence shell of that element, it is completed. When the valence shell of an element is completed, that element it becomes stable. Like you from your previous class, you people know which elements are stable and they do not react. Group 8 elements, noble gases, they are stable. Why they are stable? Because they have complete valence shell. So that is why an element during chemical bond formation, it becomes stable by completing its valence shell. Now next comes how different types of elements they can make chemical bond. There are two general ways that you can remember by which a chemical bond formation it can take place. One feature, one thing you can remember, chemical bond is formed either by the transfer of electron from one atom to the other atom or through the mutual sharing of electrons. So these are the two common ways through which a chemical bond is formed in chemistry, either by the transfer of electron or by the mutual sharing of electron. Okay. Next thing you must remember, whenever we study bond or force, every bond or force in chemistry, what is the nature of every bond or force in chemistry? You must remember the nature of any bond or force is electrostatic. Every chemical bond it is electrostatic in nature. What does electrostatic mean? It is the force of attraction between nucleus and electron. It is the force of attraction between protons and electrons. So always all the forces, all the bonds in chemistry are electrostatic in nature. You must also remember, generally speaking, all the forces, all the bonds that we study in chemistry, there are two main types. Generally, there are two main types of all the bonds in chemistry. One type of bonds in chemistry are known as intramolecular bond, intramolecular forces, and other type of bonds are known as intermolecular bond or intermolecular forces. So generally speaking, you must remember a bond is either intramolecular or it is intermolecular. Now it is very simple. You can remember what is the difference between intra and inter. You must remember the literal meaning of intra and inter. Intra means within and inter means between. So whenever we have an intramolecular force, it means it is the force within a molecule, between its atoms. And intermolecular force, it is the force between different identical or different type of molecules. It is a force between molecules of same or different types. So you must remember the simple difference between these two main types of forces in chemistry. Intra mean a force within, and inter means a force between molecules. I am giving you an example of a very simple compound, a very common compound, water. By looking at this example, you will easily remember the difference between intra and intermolecular forces. And also by using the same example, I am going to explain that which one of these two types of bond is stronger, more stronger comparatively. Okay, look at this is water molecule. You know, in water, one oxygen atom is bonded to two hydrogen atom. This is one molecule of water. If we have another molecule of water, we place this second molecule of water close to the first molecule. Again, you can see one oxygen is bonded to two hydrogen. Now this is one molecule of water, and this is the other molecule of water. And one type of bond that is already shown, you can see there is a normal line that is representing a type of bond between atoms within the molecule, and there can be another force that can hold these two molecules together. Now these normal lines, in each of the two molecules, it is known as intramolecular, because it is a force present between atoms within each molecule. So also remember, intramolecular force, it is represented by a normal line. But compared to this, the broken or the dotted line that you can see, that is holding the force, that is holding two molecules together, this is known as intermolecular force. Now this is a very simple example that you can keep in your mind. Whenever you have been given two or more molecules, within one molecule the force is intramolecular. Between two or more than two molecules, the force is intermolecular force. Now from this diagram, I think it has become obvious for you. You can easily predict that which one of these two types of forces is strong comparatively. You can see that broken line, the dotted line, it gives us a feeling of weakness. So broken line indicates that this type of bond is a weak bond, and the normal line represents a type of bond that is stronger comparatively. Now let me give you an example. Let me give you examples that will prove that intramolecular forces are always stronger compared to intermolecular forces. I am giving you example from your previous class so that you can understand quite easily. Okay, what you people know? You people know water is a liquid at room temperature. If you start heating water, and the temperature of the liquid water when it reaches at 100 degrees Celsius, what happens at 100 degrees Celsius? At 100 degrees Celsius, water starts boiling. What is boiling? You know, at boiling point, molecules of a liquid, they start getting away from each other. They start becoming isolated from each other. So what does this mean? It means one molecule will become isolated from the rest of the molecules. So what does this mean? Which force is being broken when one molecule is becoming isolated from the other? Molecule remains intact, only the force between molecule that is broken, that is overcome by providing the energy, by providing the heat, by increasing the temperature. So it means when we boil off any liquid at boiling point, which bond is broken? Intermolecular bond is broken. And you can see, as you can see, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Now instead of this, if I ask you people that I need hydrogen gas and oxygen gas from water molecules, so what does this mean? Now you want to, you will have to break water molecule you will have to decompose water molecule so that hydrogen gas can be separated from oxygen gas. Now, whenever you want to decompose water molecule, decomposition of water, you studied in your previous class through a process known as electrical decomposition. Electrical decomposition, it is also known as electrolysis. So, you can decompose water with the help of electricity or with the help of heat. If we carry out electrical decomposition, it is electrolysis. If we carry out decomposition with the help of heat, it is thermal decomposition. Now, what you must remember, whenever you decompose water to get hydrogen and oxygen gases, we need a temperature more than 2000 degrees Celsius approximately. Now, what does this mean? You can see when you boiled off water, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. You broke which forces? You overcome intermolecular forces. But when you want to decompose water molecule, into its element hydrogen and oxygen gas, we will have to provide a temperature greater than 2000 degrees Celsius. It means you will have to overcome, you will have to break which bond at such a high temperature? You will have to break intramolecular bond or intramolecular force. So this simple example, it is giving you an idea that intramolecular forces are stronger than intermolecular forces. Okay, this is one thing. Next thing, now these are the two general types that I have told you about the chemical bond, about the two types of a bond or force in chemistry. Now further, if you want to remember the subtypes, you must remember generally, as I told you, two types of bonds: intramolecular bonds. They can also be known as chemical bond. The other name for intramolecular force is chemical bond, and other name for intermolecular force is physical bond. So generally speaking, you can say either we can have chemical bond or we can have physical bond. Yeah, chemical bonds are stronger, physical bonds are weaker. Chemical bonds are also known as intramolecular bonds. Physical bonds are also known as intermolecular forces. Now, what you must remember, generally there are two types of bonds, physical and chemical. And further, each one of these two types, each one is having four subtypes. Now, some of these subtypes you people are familiar with, but all these subtypes we will discuss in your AS syllabus. Now, what are the four subtypes for each of these two types? For chemical bond, you can remember and you know some information about these types of bond: ionic bond or electrovalent bond. Second type of bond, covalent bond. Third type of bond, dative covalent or coordinate covalent. And the fourth subtype of chemical bond, it is studied, it is known as metallic bond. So these are the four subtypes of chemical bond or intramolecular force. These are the subtypes for chemical bond. Now, what four subtypes you must remember under the heading of physical bond or intermolecular forces? These are ion dipole interaction, hydrogen bonds, permanent dipole interaction, temporary or induced dipole interaction. The fourth type of physical bond, it is also known as London dispersion forces or simply London forces. So, what is the conclusion of this lecture? Simply remember, generally there are two types of bonds: chemical, physical. Chemical bonds are also known as intramolecular. Physical bonds are also known as intermolecular. And you must remember there are four subtypes of each of these two general types of bonds. And what are these four subtypes? You can see ionic, covalent, dative covalent, metallic for chemical bond, ion dipole, hydrogen bond, permanent dipole, and induced dipole interaction for physical bond. I hope you would have enjoyed this lecture. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.